Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth Brider and I'm going to show you how to make fresh green juice. So I have my juicer here. This is a Breville multi-speed juice fountain. I don't work for Breville and they don't pay me. This is just the one that I like. And I like it because it's pretty decently priced and it actually produces a lot of juice. And on the Breville website, they have some PDFs, they've done research. This is the kind of juicer, let me show you, that has the spinning mesh basket on the inside. And what can happen is it can whip air into the juice and it can oxidize. So they've done tests with this juicer that the juice is not ruined within the first 20 minutes of drinking it, or it's 20 or 30 minutes. So when you're using this kind of juicer, a Jack LaLanne or a Breville, or most juicers that you're going to have at home, you actually want to only make as much juice as you're going to drink, because the juice can oxidize, the air will get to it, and it will ruin the nutrients. So unfortunately, you don't want to be making giant batches of juice and saving them. If you have one of the more expensive juicers that the big juice bars have, they're called masticating or twin gear juicers, and they actually chew the food slowly and push it through, and some of them have a hydraulic press, so it extracts the juice differently and doesn't oxidize as quickly. So that's why when you're using this kind of juicer, you want to just make sure that you only make as much as you're going to drink within about 20 or 30 minutes. So here I've got a bunch of spinach, I've got some kale, cucumber. This is some broccoli, a broccoli stem that I used the broccoli last night and saved the stem so I could juice it today. Broccoli stems are actually incredibly sweet. I've got a big knob of fresh ginger that I peeled, and a couple of apples and a lemon. So one thing I want to tell you guys when you're juicing, you can juice pretty much any grain, any fruit or vegetable, but there are a few things that you don't want to juice. One of them would be soft things like bananas or mangoes or avocados. You're not really going to get any juice out of those things, so don't put them into your juicer. The other thing is citrus, and you just want to be careful about juicing your citrus. You might see my kitty cat walking around. I see him walking around in the background. When you use citrus in your juicer, there are a lot of essential oils in the citrus that can make you really sick. It'll hurt your stomach pretty bad. So a lemon is really good to add to your green juice because that acidity will help cut the bitterness of some of the greens and it makes it taste good. But too much of it will make you sick. So never stick a whole grapefruit or orange or lemons or limes into here. A small lemon or a small lime would be okay. But what I do is I cut the top and the bottom off, and I'll show you guys this, and then I take my knife and I just cut some of the yellow part off. And you can zest that. You could have zested it before you cut it off to use for a different recipe. If you leave it, it's fine if it's a small one. And I always do leave some of it because it makes the juice taste good. But like I said, too much is going to upset your stomach. So this is a small lemon that I cut the top and bottom off of, and then just cut some of that yellow part off. The white part is called the pith. The white part has a lot of nutrients in it, so you don't want to discard all of that. It's good for you, but you don't want all of the essential oils to upset your stomach. So here I have everything I'm going to juice, and I've washed all of this. And this is all organic, so if you can, use organic produce because it doesn't have the pesticides on it and all the yucky stuff. So whatever fits into your budget is great, but if you can, use organic. So another tip I want to give you is to take a plastic bag, one of your produce bags, right? We get a lot of these at the grocery store, and use it to line the little basket that's in the back. And that is just one less step for you to have to clean your juicer. Because one of the reasons people complain about juicing a little bit is that these juicers can be a little difficult to clean. Another reason I like this Breville one is I find it's easiest to clean. I used to have a Jack LaLanne and it was great. It's a great juicer, but it's a little bit of a bear to clean. This one's a little easier to clean. So here we go. I have this juicer. Now mine, when it turns on, it has 5 different speeds. The lower speeds are for the greens, because if you've ever juiced greens before, you know it's actually pretty hard to get juice out of greens. So a lower spin will produce more juice. And then for the softer fruits, the lower, and then for the harder fruits like apples, and if you're going to put carrots or anything into this, you'd want to use a higher setting. So use the manual, it will teach you how to use it. So here we go. I'm going to turn it on the lowest setting and do my greens and then work my way up to the apples, and then all of the juice will go into this pitcher. So I'll show you guys that. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. Try to go about 2, probably 3 servings of vegetable and greens for every serving of fruit. So you want to be mindful about how much sugar you're putting in into this because you don't want to just spit out pure sugar and then drink that. Even though it's fruit, it's very good for you. It can spike your blood sugar and make you feel really hungry. So try to do mostly greens and vegetables. Add a few apples or pears or something that can give it a little bit of sweetness. Beets are great for that, although it turns your juice hot pink instead of green, which is totally fine. Carrots are great, very, very sweet. Again, the color changes, but it's still, I consider green juice because it has greens in it. So I'll turn it on and show you guys how I do this. Alright, I can talk to you guys again because you can probably hear me now. So that's pretty easy. That's just how I make my green juice. Pretty simple. And those apples and lemon are going to actually make it taste really good. The ginger as well. And ginger is extremely good for you, and it also does give a certain kick to the juice. So I have my glass with my straw. The other reason I like this juicer, it has an attachment that I can juice straight into the glass, but I like this little pitcher because these types of juicers are going to produce a little bit of foam, which is fine. But the foam has been oxidized a little bit, it's been whipped a little bit more. So I like this little pitcher because it holds it back. And there you have it. That is how I make my green juice. Let me taste it. It's so good. It's really sweet actually. It tastes like apple juice. The kale can be a little bit bitter. So if you're just starting out, maybe work your way up to kale. But spinach and broccoli stems and cucumbers are very, very mild. And combined with that apple, it tastes delicious. So thanks for joining me for a few minutes. I hope you guys learned something. You can catch more on my website, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.